Good evening to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Let us start the session with a nice quote. What is today's quote? It was given by Mark Twain. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. You may have fear, that doesn't matter. The question is whether you can resist fear, whether you can master fear, and one has to master one's fears. A very useful quote. Now let us go to the phrasal verb of the day. What is today's phrasal verb? It is bring up. This also goes with family, meaning to bring to maturity through care and education. There are two dimensions. One is taking care, the other one providing education. Examples: she was brought up by her grandmother. I was born and brought up in Vizag. Usually we use this in passive voice. I was born and brought up. Someone brings you up. So passive voice past. I was brought up in so and so place. I was brought up by so and so person. And what are the word combinations? It goes with father, mother, parents, uncle, aunt, grandfather, grandmother, any of these. Now we'll go to today's editorial. What is today's editorial about? It is about the recent tour to West Indies by the cricket team. And some important words are there. Because cricket, a familiar topic, it should not be a problem to understand the editorial. But today I have highlighted grammar aspects. You may see the text in green underlined. All that you see in green goes with grammar. Let us start with editorial vocabulary. Diffidence, an important word. Confident opposite diffident. Confidence opposite diffidence. Modesty or shyness resulting from a lack of self confidence. Generally, we say diffident means not confident. Opposite, exactly. Jousts is a new word we have got for the first time. Even I had to refer the dictionary to find out the meaning. To compete, especially for power or control. That is a literal meaning. But in the context of the editorial, it means a competition, a match, a tournament. It refers to T20s. Romp, I'm sure you all know ramp. If you take models, fashion show, they walk on the ramp, catwalk. But what is the word here? A romp, part of speech noun. An easy victory over an opponent. An easy victory. This is also a new word. I would like to reiterate whenever we come across new words, do remember after the session you have to spend some time. Only then you can remember. Otherwise, after some time, these words disappear. Jousts, romp. Status quo, we have got recently. An important foreign expression, foreign words. Status quo means existing state of affairs or the same condition, the same situation, no improvement, no development. Then we say status quo. Conventional, we have got many a time. Part of speech adjective, meaning traditional. This word nowadays, it is in the limelight. Not exactly nowadays, it has been in the limelight for quite some time. We talk about conventional sources of energy, non conventional sources of energy. What are the conventional sources of energy? Fossil fuels, and they are non renewable. What are non conventional sources of energy? Solar energy, wind energy, and these are renewable. Emanate, an important word, part of speech verb. Originate from, come from, to spread out from a source. Impeccable, an important word I use regularly. In accordance with the highest standards, or faultless, flawless. Some people speak flawless English. Then we say he speaks impeccable English. That's an important combination. Impeccable English. Credentials, part of speech noun, proof of someone's abilities and experience. When someone applies for a particular post, we say, what are his credentials? An important word. Enormous part of speech adjective we have got many a time. Happy Independence Day, belated wishes to all of you. Who is that? Subramaniam KB. Enormous means a huge, very large in size, quantity, or extent. You should also recollect words like mammoth, huge, and stature, an important word, importance or reputation gained by ability or achievement. What is his stature? He has a very good stature, means very good reputation, a position in the society. Elude has different combinations. Part of speech verb. One, it goes with people like you, youngsters, of an achievement or something desired failed to be attained by someone. Usually, I give the combination word success. Success has been elusive. Means what? Success has been eluding. Someone tries for success, he or she doesn't get. Then we say success has been eluding him. But this also goes with it means escape. Exactly, Anisha. It goes with a thief. The thief has eluded the police, escaped. Escape, another meaning. Inexplicable, an important word, part of speech adjective. Unable to be explained or accounted for. Certain things you cannot explain. Then what is the word? Inexplicable, an important word. Baffle. Baffle, so many synonyms are there. Baffle actually means confuse. And what are the synonyms? Bewilder, perplex, baffle, confuse. We also use the word puzzle. All these mean the same: baffling, confusing, puzzling, bewildering, and perplexing. They all mean the same. You have to remember all the words. Lukewarm, usually it goes with water. Lukewarm means not too hot, but when it comes to effective English, it goes with a response. A lukewarm response means what? Not enthusiastic or interested. Imagine I ask you guys questions, you don't respond, maybe one or two respond. Then I say a lukewarm response from the students. An important thing. Prevail has got two or different meanings. Prevailing situation, existing situation, one meaning, typical meaning. But in the context of the editorial, prevailed means prove more powerful or superior, to be dominant. The West Indies team prevailed when it comes to T20s. The West Indies team prevailed means what? Dominated. This we have got many a time. It takes the word well. Augur well, we also say bode well, to be a sign of an event or circumstance, portend a good or bad outcome. Generally, I say to be a sign of something good or bad likely to happen in future. And we say it bodes well, it augurs well, or it doesn't bode well, it doesn't augur well. Linger, we have got a few times, part of speech verb. To take longer than usual to leave or disappear. Lingering thoughts. What is the combination here? Lingering thoughts or feelings. They don't disappear immediately. Sojourn, a new word, an important word you got to remember. After the session, you have to spend some time. A temporary stay. What does it mean? A temporary stay. These are the words from today's editorial. And today's editorial is all about a West Indies tour. But before we go to the actual editorial, let us have a look at the tone of the passage. What is the tone of the editorial? It comes across means appears. That's an important phrasal verb. He comes across as a very confident person, means he appears a confident person. Comes across as analytical and contemplative. What is the meaning of the word contemplative? Answer my question. Contemplate means to think deeply. Already we have got words like introspect, contemplate. And sometimes what happens, you wish your friend, he may not respond. He looks lost. Then we say pensive mood. And some people they always think of the past. Then we say don't brood over the past. We also say don't dwell on the past. You got to be careful with the prepositions. Brood over the past, dwell on the past. Means don't think too much about the past. Very good. Who is that? Naidu, ponder. All these words you have to recollect. The writer is objectively. Objective means based on facts. Subjective means personal opinion. The writer is objectively evaluating India's performance during the West Indies tour with a focus on their success in Test and ODI formats and their struggles in T20s. You all know about the recent series. We won the Test series, we won the one days, but we lost in T20s. The author is impartially, without any prejudice or bias, assessing the team's achievements, the decisions made by the coach, and the impact of factors such as players' injuries and the quality of the opposition. In this context, the West Indies team. There is a sense of thoughtful examination, so the word contemplative, considering both the positive and negative aspects of India's tour while highlighting the need for improvement and addressing lingering uncertainties. Look at the wording, very nice. Now, as I said at the outset, whatever you see in green, I hope you can make out, underlined, related to grammar. So be alert and think of grammar. Short circuit. I'm sure you all know short circuit has two different meanings. One meaning it goes with electricity. Whenever there is a short circuit, there is a fire accident. But here, short circuit, it refers to India's tour of the West Indies. But what is the main idea of this editorial? India dominated, past tense, the longer formats against the West Indies, but lost the T20s. You may ask, sir, there is no time, so how come it is in past? Because it happened, already happened, the writer chose to use past. India dominated the longer formats. What are the two longer formats in this context? One is a test series, the other one is one days. And they lost the T20s, the shorter format. Here, lost, you have to recollect grammar point of view. One is loss, noun, opposite profit. But what is the verb here? Lose. Lose, lost, lost. There's another word, lose, that is an adjective. It is opposite of tight. All these you have to recollect. Loss, profit and loss, noun. Lose and tight, adjective. As a verb, lose, lost, lost. How does the editorial start? Dominance in Test and ODIs and diffidence, lack of confidence in T20s defined India's performance during the latest tour of the West Indies. The Test series, to substantiate that statement, the Test series was claimed at 2-0, was claimed, it is in past, passive voice. The ODI jousts, means the ODI matches at 2-1, 2-0, 2-1, while we use while to express the contrast. While the T20 series was lost, again past tense passive voice, at 2-3. We won 2, they won 3. Against an opposition that has been on a downward spiral. Here, what is opposition? West Indies. And West Indies has been on a downward spiral, means not doing extremely well for a while, for some time. India was expected to romp home across all three formats. Was expected, again past tense passive voice. We expected India, India was expected. India was expected to romp home, win an easy victory across all three formats. What are the three formats here? Tests, one days, and T20s. However, contrasting information, given the way the tour shaped up, means it appeared, even if status quo was largely maintained, status quo means the same situation was largely maintained in tests and ODIs. Same situation was largely maintained in tests and ODIs. The T20s threw up a lot of questions. There's one phrasal verb here. What is the actual phrasal verb? Throw up. Throw up in this question means pose. Throw up a lot of questions means posed a lot of questions. But actually, throw up means to vomit. He threw up after the dinner. It is not rocket science. Okay. And here there's one more word is there. I'm sure you all know the word vomit. But there's another word, puke. Puke also means the same, vomit or throw up. But throw up, that is a different meaning altogether. Here, throw up means pose a lot of questions. That the conventional means traditional 50 over World Cup will be held. Here, future tense passive voice. In India across October and November, while the West Indies and the United States will host future tense active voice, the ICC T20 World Cup next year meant that the Indian unit had to have, this is an important expression, I have to have present, I had to have past, both an immediate focus and equally a long term vision. A lengthy sentence, what does it talk about? It talks about two tournaments that are going to come up in the near future. One here, one day 50 over World Cup to be held in India, and if you take T20s to be held in West Indies and also in the US. Based on these two, what does it mean? Indian unit had to have two things. They should have two things. One, immediate focus, and equally a long-term vision. Focus, foresight. Very good. A long term strategy, a long term vision. Yet can be an adverb, it can be a conjunction. As a conjunction, it expresses the contrast. Yet the signals emanating means coming out from the Caribbean prove to be mixed. Usually we say mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings towards someone or something. Means what? Both positive and negative. Same meaning here. The signals emanating, coming from the Caribbean, proved to be mixed, something positive, something negative. One days and test positive, T20s negative. Now he talks about the coach. Coach Rahul Dravid, a former, an important word. What is opposite? Latter. A former star with impeccable credentials, faultless. And here we also use blemishless, but it goes with a different context. Blemishless goes with character. It also means spots. It goes with clothes. It goes with face. It goes with skin. Blemishless skin means what? No spots whatsoever. So, impeccable credentials means credibility. It comes from credibility. Impeccable credentials is success, and enormous stature, huge position or huge status, enormous stature, seems to have an immunity when it comes to the perception game, which somehow eluded his predecessor. Predecessor, an important word. What does it mean? The one who was in position earlier. The first Ravi Shastri was the coach. Now Rahul Dravid. Rahul Dravid, former, and Ravi Shastri, latter. Eluded his predecessor. Means Ravi Shastri could not get that image or the whatever he deserves to get. Why? Even when the results under the latter were far superior, but he did not have that immunity. Unlike Rahul Dravid. Rahul Dravid, a former star with impeccable credentials and enormous stature, seems to have an immunity when it comes to the perception game. Perhaps people don't question him, perhaps people don't look at him with a negative perception. But the same thing Ravi Shastri did not have, in spite of the fact the results under his guidance were far superior. Again, you have to think of grammar point of view. Superior takes a preposition to, superior to, not than. If this year's World Cup is the focus, then the inexplicable arresting of skipper Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli during the second and third ODIs seemed baffling. Something seemed confusing, puzzling, bewildering, baffling. What is that? In the second and third ODIs, they did not allow or they did not give a chance to Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. So that seems to be rather baffling. In the subsequent T20s, the squad under captain Hardik Pandya performed in a lukewarm fashion, means not very enthusiastic. The first two games were lost, past, before India pulled back a phrasal verb in the third and the fourth. 1 and 2 they won, 3 and 4 we won. While in the climactic fifth clash in Florida, the West Indies prevailed, means dominated, they won the match. The men from the Caribbean, means West Indies players, may seem dull, may means a possibility, chances are more, may seem dull in Test and ODIs, but in T20s they are high on confidence. They are very good when it comes to T20s, but they are not that good when it comes to Test and ODIs. Please listen to the analysis, then you could ask those questions. Here, with many of its players having gained, having done, having completed, having gained an important non finite verb, with many of its players having gained exposure from the various T20 leagues, plus with a history of having won non finite verb, the ICC T20 title in 2012 2016, the West Indies are placed better. It is again in present in cricket's shortest format. What is the shortest format? T20s. India may take heart from the results in the Test and ODIs. They may feel happy about the results in the Test and ODIs, while in the T20s more work needs to be done. Here needs to be done, it is present tense passive voice. We need to do it. It needs to be done. Remember present tense passive voice, important pattern. Four key players, Jasprit Bumrah, Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, and KL Rahul, missing in the ranks due to fitness issues. We did not have these players because they have or they had fitness issues, did affect the composition of India's various outfits. Generally, we say affected. For emphasis, we say did affect the composition of India's various outfits. Could be tests, could be one days, could be T20s. Bumrah is now back present in the mix ahead of the Ireland tour, but queries, questions, or doubts remain about who would constitute India's core group, the main group in the World Cup. That's a question. Tilak Varma's runs in T20s augur well, a good sign. But as the Indians return home, a sense of ambiguity, ambiguous means what? Not clear, vague, a sense of ambiguity lingers from their Caribbean sojourn. Lingers means to exist for a long time, not to disappear immediately. And sojourn means a short stay. That's all about the editorial. A familiar topic, easy to answer. Now we have questions based on the editorial comprehension skill. How does Rahul Dravid's coaching style differ from that of his predecessor, Ravi Shastri? Why does the decision to rest Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli in the ODI seem puzzling or baffling? How did India fare under the captaincy of Hardik Pandya in the T20s? You can easily answer. What factors contributed to West Indies' confidence and strength in T20s? Which key players were absent from India's lineup due to fitness issues, and how did it affect their team composition? Affect verb, effect noun or verb, but usually we use as a noun. How does Jasprit Bumrah's return impact India's team ahead of the Ireland tour? Try to write answers in your own sentences that will help in the long run. Now let us go to exam topics, practice questions based on exam topics. The first five questions, error location. Read the first one and try to spot the error. You have four parts. One part may have the error, may not have the error. The objective to have Hindi names is apparent, an attempt to symbolize the de-anglicization of criminal law. Who is this? I have some doubts. No doubts. Are you my student? Sesha, who is this? Snehashri. If you have purchased a course, then usually in the course live batches we ask students ask doubts are clear. Here I cannot, because this is a different platform. This is only for the Hindu editorial analysis. Related to this, you can ask questions. I will be happy to answer. Some students have answered, a lot of students, that's wonderful. Here, the objective to have Hindi names is apparent adjective. We should not use the adjective form, we have to use the adverb form. What is the adverb form of this word? Apparently. Apparently, an attempt to symbolize a de anglicization of criminal law. This question is about what I call word form. I have been telling you guys, bank exams and also SSC, quite often they ask questions based on word forms. What does it mean? They use the right word, but they use a wrong form. They are supposed to use the adverb form, but they have used, this is the correct form, they have used the adjective form. The word form is not correct. That you got to be careful. Very good. I appreciate that. Question number 2. It raises a doubt whether the changes are far too few to warrant their being enacted afresh. So, where is the error? It raises a doubt whether the changes are far too few to warrant their being enacted afresh. Here, Anusha is the first one to answer. Whenever you come across rise or raise, you should be alert. Two important verbs, they come under confusing verbs. Rise, arose, arisen. It is an intransitive verb and also an irregular verb. Intransitive means it cannot take an object. Irregular means it does not take D or ED. What is the other one? Raise. Raise, raised, raised. This is a transitive verb and also it is a regular verb. It takes D or ED. Here you ask the question what? A doubt. That is an object. If there is an object, obviously you cannot use an intransitive verb. You have to use a transitive verb. What is a transitive verb here? A raise. Because it is present tense affirmative, we should add S or ES to the verb. It raises a doubt. I may bring a lot of many a time. These are not easy to answer under pressure. That you have to remember. When mob lynching and organized crime are new sections, a significant omission is hate speech. This is a bit challenging. You got to read carefully. When mob lynching and organized crime are new sections, a significant omission is hate speech. No one has responded. It should not take this long. Answer, it is not when, we have to say while. While is used to express a contrast. It also goes with continuous tenses. Here, while mob lynching and organized crime are new sections, a significant omission is hate speech. What is the right word here? While, not when. A bit difficult under pressure. While two functions. One, it goes with a continuous tense. He was writing while I was teaching. I was teaching while he was writing. Past continuous. And while also expresses a contrast. Paddy needs water, a waterlogging condition, while cotton needs black soil. Paddy needs water, while cotton needs black soil. So that's an important function. Go to the fourth one. The procedure code enables conduct of trial of proclaimed offenders in absentia. In absentia, an important phrase. Today I have brought an important para jumble from an international magazine. Try to get it right. No one has answered question number 4. The procedure code enables conduct of trial or trial. Here we have to use trial. Trial goes with court. The whole process is called trial. Trail means to leave something behind so that someone can find the path. Imagine someone is lost in a forest. Then he may leave a few pebbles as he moves or something. And those who try to trace him based on this trail, they can find out that person. Here, the right word is trial, not trail. However, the remand provisions seem to permit police custody beyond the current 15-day limit, attracting any criticism. Trial court, very good. Venkateshwarama. Trail, leave behind something so that people can find out or trace. After this, we have an important para jumble. Not trail. No one has answered question number 5. However, the remand provisions seem to permit police custody beyond the current 15-day limit. No error. But the last part, attracting any, is not correct. Attracting some criticism. I have brought this intentionally. There are 2 adjectives and they're very important from the exam point of view. What are those 2? Some, any. Some goes with affirmative and interrogative forms. Affirmative and interrogative forms. Some. Any goes with negative form. Negative form. In one or two exams they've given, I don't have some money to buy that. To buy that. Is this right or wrong? Answer my question. Wonderful. I don't have some money to buy that. Wrong. Here it is in negative form. I don't have. Then you cannot say some. What is the right word? I don't have any money to buy that. Now, work on this para jumble, not easy. At the outset, I would like to caution. You got to read very carefully. Only then you can get the correct order. There are 6 parts. That is wrong. I don't have any money. Try to take elimination approach. The lava, definite article usually cannot be the first one, though exceptions are there. After an eruption, there is no subject, cannot be the first one. The 3,330-meter high volcano burst into action overnight on Sunday. Perhaps hold this one. Hold this. I'm not saying it is the first one. Hold it. Bringing fresh, no subject cannot be the first one. Firing lava, no subject cannot be the first one. Here, what is the first one? Either C or F. Now you got to be a little careful. Very good. A lot of students have said F. That is the first one. Flights serving the eastern Sicilian city of Catania were halted. Ask the question why? Why were they halted? When were they halted? Venkatesh Rama, very good. After that, I see Suresh Tripura Sundari. B is the second one. After an eruption from nearby Mount Etna, local authorities said. What is the next one? A little challenging. Flights serving the eastern Sicilian, it's all about flights. Flights serving the eastern Sicilian city of Catania were halted. After an eruption from nearby Mount Etna, local authorities said, bringing fresh travel troubles. Flight related to what? Travel. bringing fresh travel troubles to the crisis-plagued Italian airport. Obviously, it talks about flights and halted. What is the negative impact? Travel troubles. Based on that, D is the third one. FBD. No, 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 no. D is the third one. Bringing fresh travel troubles. Because it talks about flights. Flights, travel troubles related. Next one. It is about the volcano. The 3,330-meter high volcano burst into action overnight on Sunday. There is a comma. Firing lava and ash, two things. High over the Mediterranean island, obviously E. And what is the last one here? The lava flow subsided before dawn, but ash was still coming from one of the craters. Obviously, A is the last one. FBDCEA. No, no, no. A is the last one. No, no, no. See, here it talks about the volcano. The volcano burst into action overnight on Sunday. How did it burst? Firing lava and ash, two things. High over the Mediterranean island. Mediterranean island. And it refers to the previous sentence, lava and ash. Continuation. The lava flow subsided before dawn, but ash was still coming from one of the craters. Obviously, A is the last one. There is no doubt regarding that. We have one word substitutions. Try to answer these. A strong feeling of disliking or having no respect for someone or something. What is the word? It begins with the letter C. I appreciate all those who have got it right. FBDCEA. What is the word? One word substitution. Contempt of court. Generally, we say, based on the editorial, contempt of court, not respecting the court. The act of becoming independent and no longer part of a country, area, organization, etc. It begins with the letter S. Ah, very good. Here you can say cessation, but the editorial has used cessationism. Both are correct. Cessationism. The power of a country to control its own government again begins with the word S. I will do it. Wait for a few days, Sham. I will do it. Here, what is the spelling? Sovereign. 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 Yes. To punish someone for breaking a rule begins with the word P. What is the word? To punish someone with or for breaking a rule. Penalize. What is the word? Penalize means what? To punish. Penalize. That's right. To make a particular activity necessary. Huh. My pleasure, Sham. Warrant. Wonderful. This is a bit difficult. I appreciate those who have answered. Punitive measures, that's a different usage, different context. But here we need a verb. Punitive is adjective. Here, Naresh, punitive is not the right word. Penalize, we need a verb. Penalize. Warrant, that is the right word. We got this from the editorial. Based on that, I have brought related idioms. All are very important. Keep abreast of something. Keep abreast of the latest developments. Means what? You have to recollect and write there If one student writes the correct meaning, then I will tell the exact meaning. Penalize, that is over. Please go to the next slide. Idioms. No, not to be frank. No. Keep abreast of the latest developments. Youngsters preparing for competitive exams, you have to keep abreast of the latest developments. I use regularly when I talk to students to make sure that you know the recent facts and the latest developments. To know the latest developments, very good. That is the meaning. To be up to date, to be updated, to be updated. That is a better expression. To be updated, to know the latest things, to keep in touch with the latest. Learn something inside out. What does it mean? This goes with the subject and also a person. I know that person inside out. I know the subject inside out. Means what? Please go in a systematic way. One is over, work on the second one. Don't go to the third one. Unnecessary confusion. Learn something inside out means to learn something thoroughly. Know the subject inside out means know the subject thoroughly, completely. That also you can say. Wonderful. Pawan, Suresh. Yes. Have the not introspect. No, no. Have the subject at fingertips. I have 200 rules at my fingertips. I have English grammar at my fingertips. What does it mean? Know something, know something well. In the sense, you can talk about that anytime. Know something well. Have the subject at fingertips means you know something and you can talk about that anytime. Ready to talk about that. Usually the third, fourth one goes with students. Students burn midnight oil before exams. What does it mean? Have the subject at fingertips also means to know something thoroughly. But what is the difference? If you have something at your fingertips means you're ready to take it out. You know very well. In your sleep also someone wakes you up, asks, what are the 200 grammar rules? You tell all the 200 grammar rules. That means you have the grammar rules at your fingertips. Burn the midnight oil means what? Not 11th hour. 11th hour means last minute. Burn midnight oil means to be awake late night. Usually to be awake till late night, either to study or to work. To be awake till late night, either to study or work. Usually before exams, students, they go in for night outs. Then we say they are burning the midnight oil. Not hard working. No, 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 no. There is a context. What is the context? To be awake till late night, either to work or to study. The last one, go down the drain. Same meaning. We have another idiom. Go to the dogs. Go to the dogs. Go down the drain. Both mean the same. No, no, no. Today, how come you guys are not getting the meanings of these idioms? We have got so many times. I use regularly. Anusha has got the last one. It means something goes waste. Go waste. You can also think of the word futile. Futile efforts. All his efforts, it takes the word efforts. All his efforts have gone down the drain. All his efforts have gone to the dogs. His investment, it goes with investment. His investment has gone down the drain. His investment has gone to the dogs. Wild goose chase, a related idiom. That's very good. That's all about today's editorial. I appreciate those who have attended because today is Independence Day. I thought only in vain, Naidu, very good. I thought only a few students would attend, but very good. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the editorial. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much. And do remember to subscribe and share.